Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live once again from the South, more specifically Tuckasegee, North Carolina, and I am here at a historical road marker. Zoom in there. As you can see, this is a marker to John Romulus Brinkley, whose boyhood home was across the river here. Notice let's say he is a medical maverick. What they don't tell you is that by medical maverick, that is a politically correct term for mad scientist. Dr. John Romulus Brinkley is Appalachia's own personal mad scientist. Also of note, over here we have a monument to the person that he called Aunt Sally. Who this person was is actually an aunt on his mom's side, but his father also married her, making him his stepmother and his aunt. She pretty much raised him. He erected this himself in honor of her. But let's talk about Dr. Brinkley. Dr. Brinkley was not a doctor, believe it or not. He operated under a provisional license through most of his career. He got his start as pretty much a snake oil salesman selling fake medicine. He was always moving around. People realized what a hustler he was. He'd close up shop, hit town, moved all over the country. Spent some time in jail for medical malpractice. But what he is most known for, and for some reason is not mentioned on this sign, is the implantation of goat testicles inside human beings. This was a practice that Dr. Brinkley would, I don't know, I want to say pioneer, but I guess he was the pioneer of this goat testicle implantation. He began his practice by planting these testicles inside. Very loud here, we're actually next to a road. He would plant these testicles in the scrotums and in the stomachs of men. He would say that this would give them the sexual vitality they need. I guess this is a precursor to the horny goat weed that is sold in truck stop bathrooms. It turns out this is not only ineffective, but highly dangerous. And Dr. Brinkley would not stop there. He began saying that implanting goat testicles in people could cure anything. He started planting goat testicles in women, saying it helped with all sorts of things. He said it cured dementia, it cured flatulence. Implanting goat testicles reduced the amount of farts you had, apparently. So anyways, he also, not helping the situation, he would operate on people while he was drunk. He wouldn't wash his equipment in between these surgeries. People died. People implanting goat testicles, rotting goat testicles in people's body is dangerous. Don't ever do that. People would die. He had massive amounts of medical maltreatment. Again, always moving around the country, trying to get away from, prosecution. He wound up very, very loud here. I'm hoping you can hear this. Actually, he would actually travel to Germany to get a honorary doctorate in order to be able to put doctor before his name and not be sued for it. Turns out Benito Mussolini, yes, Adolf Hitler's BFF, Benito Mussolini, realized Dr. John Brinkley is a quack. He is killing people by putting goat testicles inside of them. So Benito Mussolini personally revoked Dr. John Brinkley's honorary doctorate, once again stripping him of the ability to call himself doctor. Now, Dr. John, he, if nothing, was incredibly persistent. He came up with a scheme. He moved to Kansas City and sought to become a doctor again. The medical board, of course, refused him a doctor because he was a madman who implanted goat testicles in people and killed them. So he came up with a second plan. He ran for governor of Kansas. With this logic, he could appoint his own medical board, which would grant him the title of doctor. The logic here is that it is easier to become the governor of Kansas than it is to become a doctor. It didn't work. He was never elected governor. He did, however... Let's let this truck go by. He did, however, obtain the rank of admiral in the Kansas Navy. This is odd because there is no water in the state of Kansas. If you notice, let's go back to the sign here. In addition to being a medical maverick, aka a mad scientist, he was also an advertising pioneer. Reason for this is he, for the sole purpose of advertising his medical practice, or various medical practices, his goat testicle implanting business, he would buy his own radio stations and set them up, advertising all sorts of crazy things. U.S. government did not like this, tried very hard to shut him down. What he did, move his radio stations across the border, move his radio stations into Mexico across the border, broadcast them at much higher frequencies than were allowed in the United States, and blast these medical advertisements into the United States, advertising goat testicle surgery and other various dubious medicines that he sold. Now, in addition, because the story just keeps getting crazier and going on, he did in Kansas have his own baseball team, which he called the Kansas Goats, because he loved goats and their magical powers. So, we have Appalachia's very own evil mad scientist. I think I've covered everything there. I could be missing something because the madness in this man's life is unending. He did die penniless and alone because he had been sued so many freaking times for killing people by putting goat testicles in their bodies. So, thank you everyone, and good night.